What's the difference between black goo and oil, Harald?
Okay. In principle, you have two types of oil. One type of oil is created the way science believes it is, which means that you have biomass from oceans that sinks down into an area that has no oxygen, and then it's embedded with some minerals thing, and then, this is what people believe oil is created from. Right. There's a secondary way of creating oil, and this is when you have water extracted from the core of the earth, from not the core, but the inner part of the earth.
Yes.
You have water streaming up, and you have both water and carbon dioxide. And if you bring a mixture of water and carbon dioxide into vertical flow, which is happening, if you have this pipes, underground pipes, where the water is flowing through, then you have this vertical flow. Then you create vortices that accumulate scalar potential to a point where the water transmutes to oil, plant oil type oil. And from there, the transmutation line goes higher to the precious metals, silica and precious metals. This is kind of the transmutation row. This is something we exactly know because we are doing this in the lab.
Right.
I was connected to a company that tried to do this to replace diesel fuel, just on large scale, transmute water
to oil,
combustible fuel, and it works in the lab. So we know exactly the transmutation row, and we know that if you overdo it, you start to create metals out of it. So
this is how material
this transmutation. Yes. And if you kind of now take the fraction of this type of oil that is transmuting into gold and iridium, and you up concentrate the gold and the iridium in this type of oil, you get black goo. And this black goo is interacting on quantum level. Out of the vertical flow, you are already in higher dimensional areas with the scalar potential that is attached to the matter. And from there, you have this quantum communication between the precious metals that are actually photon attractors. And this is what carries the consciousness of the planet.
Yes, that's what I heard.
And then this is interactive and mobile. So all the precious metal enriched components of this oil start to communicate, and they have the tendency to up concentrate. And this is what is at the end building up ley lines. All the ley lines are lines of this earth-type black goo.
Wow.
Which can be created naturally and also in a lab.
Can you get me some?
Yes. And you have three different types of ley lines. The people dealing with it by sensing them give them colors. The ley lines are kind of cut off and brought to the surface. You get what is called mumio or schialit, where you also have the different types. One type is enriched with iron, one type is enriched with the precious metals like gold and iridium. So these are the substances that you then find when something of this is coming up. And sometimes the two types of oil mix. For example, I know in Iran there's one refinery that is treating mineral oil for just normal industry use. And they have part of the oil that they call non-refinable oil. And they just dump it somewhere. So you have a big lake of non-refinable oil. And if you go there and say, hello, here I am, then the oil comes up, builds some creature-like structure and starts to talk to you. Wow. And then you're talking to Mother Earth.
No shit.
So basically, this is the difference between mineral oil and black goo.
Oh my God. And I wonder,
so how mineral oil doesn't talk to you.
How bad is oil? I understand like the oil can like has destroyed some islands, like these oil spills, because the oil coats the roots and the plants can absorb the water, so they die, and the island it disappears because there's no roots holding the island there. But how bad is oil really for like the ocean, like sitting on the bottom of the ocean if there's a spill? And the BP oil spill, was that mineral oil? Was that black goo oil? What type of oil was that? And I know I've asked you like 3 questions. I'll let you answer those first.
The Gulf of Mexico on planetary being level is the eye of Mother Earth. So what they try to do is puncturing Mother's eye to make her blind. This is the evil in this drilling. And yes, they hit a black goo deposit, a big one, not a ley line, but spherical structure. And Mother Earth lost some of her black goo by this puncturing destructive.
She regenerates it, doesn't she?
Yes, out of the ley line she will. If it's really closed, if it's open, I don't know what's happening over there.
I know, I think they closed it, didn't they? They tried, I don't know, I hope.
They said, officially they said that they managed to drill from the side to close it. The mineral oil very much depends on the bacterial environment. The Gulf of Mexico is so used to oil spills that you have a lot of bacteria in the seawater that immediately digest the oil, so it doesn't really harm. Not in the Gulf of Mexico. The areas do not have these bacteria, so the oil stays for long and has enough time to kill birds and to kill fish and whatever. Yeah. But not in the Gulf. The Gulf is kind of inert and has a
because it's been hit so many times with spills.
Yes.
The Earth adapts that well. Like, that is sick.
Yeah. It's an intelligent being. So the big harm was done by the chemicals they dropped on top of the
toxic
to make sure that together with the black goo, Mother Earth's consciousness came into the biosphere in a huge amount.
Yeah.
So this would have been a chance kind of to shortcut kind of the planetary consciousness with the human consciousness, bringing a lot of healing. This was the reason why they put all the chemicals on top, basically to destroy the planetary consciousness that came into the biosphere. Yeah. This Excellent. Is my opinion on this.
No. I wouldn't say that's opinion. Like, that seems rather factual.
There's some experience behind this opinion, but not. Normally, I'm the way I work with science. I do not have a research budget of $2 billion a year.
No.
So I need to utilize my brain to be effective. And the way I work normally, I'm like 85% correct on what I state. And 15% it's not kind of the 100% the wrong direction, but normally I miss out on things and things get blurry because still certain aspects are not within the field I observe.
Right.
So sometimes I kind of go a little bit too quick, and things are not completely wrong, but not complete.
As long as it's not intentional disinformation, then it's 100%. And because I'll say certain things like, I'll maybe exaggerate, not exaggerate, but like when I'm talking about how they engineer the weather mostly every day, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's not every single day they engineer the weather, but they pretty much are. And so you can lie, not lie, but it's a bit biased, but in the right direction, not biased as in vaccines are good for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's because I don't have ulterior motives here. What are our motives? We're trying to help raise consciousness, really. So
help Mother Earth.
Exactly.
And maybe it fits here to connect. Black goo is one topic that is interesting, especially if you look at this duality created by the extraterrestrial black goo in comparison to the Earth-type black goo. And with the extraterrestrial, there's one more thing connected, because you mentioned the English language as being the lowest vibrant language. Connected to the alien black goo, we have the Arks of the Covenant and the other Arks that were brought together with the black goo to this planet.
That's right.
And the black goo is kind of the brain liquid of a planet that went through the phase of self-destruction. And the arcs, the available 5 arcs, are crystals that contain the bioenergetic energy of the planet.
This is kind of around finding.
It's kind of a tin catastrophe. You have a planet that went through self-destruction, and the memory, the Akasha chronic of this planet, including all the traumatized energies from self-destruction, are in the black goo. And the bioenergetics are in the crystals that the arcs contain. And what they did, this is kind of the 15% that are not 100% secured, but what we believe at the moment, that in the time of Tutmosis, the stone circles in England were erected. And what you have below the stone circles is a setup of 2 antennas. One is a binary spiral antenna system, and the second one is a cloverleaf antenna system. Oh, they're overlaying in two different depths in the ground. And one of these antennas, every stone circle has an antenna system like this underground, and one of the stone circles has an arc.
Wow.
So you have a setup of resonating antennas in England that is radiating the trauma energies of a destroyed planet. And this is why all the people in Great Britain have this strong desire to restage traumatizing things. This is why they had the ability to kind of go all over the planet and destroy cultures, conquer it and destroy the local culture, because this is restage trauma.
That's what, yes, that makes sense. Because people...
And this... Yeah. This is what spoiled the energy of the English language, because you have since 3,600 years, you have a constant inflow of trauma energy into this culture.
Hey guys, and thank you for listening to that little snippet of an interview from Harald Kautz-Vella, Shayne Benattar, and myself. And what I'd like to do is just basically say thank you to all the people in 2016 who supported our broadcast, who are getting onto the Facebook pages Nate Max Project and my own Facebook, Neilpascoe, the YouTube channel, Nate Max TV, Instagram, Connecting Consciousness, Instagram, Off-Grid Adventures, and Instagram, Nate Max TV. So you guys are the driving force behind everything we do out there, and we really do appreciate all the beautiful comments. Thank you so much for the emails, the messages, the texts, the inboxes, just supporting us. So that was kind of a testing of the water to see if we want to continue doing these interviews, and we're going to hit it up this year in 2017. We're going to continue. We're getting new cameras, new recording studios, a green screen, co-hosts, co-writers, a whole bunch of stuff is going to come online this year. We're going to go hard with it. This really is an important, powerful time now for us to be putting this information out there, because as most of you know, there is a worldwide awakening happening. In some way or another, everyone is waking up. Depends on what degree. Usually the people who do the meditation and doing inner work, their awakening is much faster. But the whole world on a general level is waking up. The Illuminati, the Cabal, whatever you want to call it, that's all falling apart at the seams. It's game over. Mainstream media is dead. Alternate media, truth media is now king. Okay, the internet, social media, and you guys are the driving force behind what's going to be out there. So keep posting, keep sharing, keep liking, tagging, and telling people about what we're up to. And we're going to see a beautiful world in the next few years. We're going to see a transformation with new free energy devices coming out, with the elite, the pedophiles, the people who are doing the child sacrifice and all that shit. They're going to be captured, they're going to be thrown in prison, and they're going to be offered a deal, either fuck off or toe the line. Very exciting times, guys, so thank you so much. And we have a few amazing people who are coming on board. I've got a few ex-CIA and FBI people, big names, who are going to be doing interviews with us in the next few weeks and months. I'm looking forward to that much myself. And yeah, thank you for support. All right, guys, I'll speak to you shortly. Bye now.